This is absolutely outrageous. Tesla is set to overtake the S&P 500 in 2023 for total net inflows. Tesla in red, S&P 500 in blue. This is a very big deal. Over on CNBC, how Tesla rose to retail investor stardom. Quote, it's always in people's minds. Well, I can confirm it's always in mine. Shout out to the daily videos for nearly 4 years in a row. Key points. Tesla is slated to see the highest net inflows from retail investors of any security in 2023. One more time. More money from retail investors has flowed into Tesla stock, will flow into Tesla stock than any other security, individual stock or ETF. Literally the most popular stonk for retail investors on earth in 2023, which obviously proves that retail investors are very dumb, because why would you buy Tesla stock? It's a crowning moment for the stock, which climbed in individual investor interest in recent years. It sure did. Who could have seen that coming? Everyday investors say they like Tesla because of its disruptive technology and focus on the future. Marco Sustik has a big bet on Tesla this year. The investor, who also happens to work in the European auto industry, I guess he's getting some insights into how fucked Tesla's so-called competition are, bought Tesla shares nearly every month in 2023. Sounds like this guy was buying Tesla stock with every spare cent. What a crazy person. Why would you do that? And has almost doubled the size of his position over the course of the year. He has no other electric vehicle holdings out of a belief that competitors won't be able to beat Tesla's technology. Amazingly, I tend to agree. Quote, there's no catching up with them, said the 32-year-old, who also has 2 Tesla vehicles at home in Croatia. Quote, it's just a matter of time when the stock will explode. And he's not alone. Tesla, which entered the S&P 500 3 years ago this week, by the way, let me know in the comments below if you remember that. Absolutely crazy. Is on pace to attract the largest flow of individual investor dollars of any security in 2023. According to data from Vanda Research, the firm calculates net inflows to find these favorites, subtracting the amount of stock sold from what was bought. So that's what they mean by net inflows. Money that went in that didn't come back out. As in diamond hands, as in still hodling. And that means Tesla will eclipse even the S&P 500 ETF, which tracks the largest stock market index in the world. This underscores the stock's fast ascent to retail investor glory, as Tesla wasn't even among the top 20 stocks that individual investors bought before 2019, which coincidentally is the same year I started this YouTube channel. No relation, just pointing out that fact. Now this really, one more time, really is a big deal. I recall a few years ago posting on Reddit, and by the way, this was on an anonymous account, so you guys won't ever find these posts, attempting to make the argument for Tesla stock. And the vast majority of the comments, in response to my suggestion that Tesla had a very bright future, were along the lines of, you're an idiot. You don't understand. The only way to invest is to buy index funds and hold for 65 years and then retire with a little bit more capital than somebody who did nothing. That's how you invest. You're an idiot. And after hearing enough of these comments and doing my best and kind of getting a bit frustrated that I was talking to brick walls, I realized, oh, okay, well, these derps have gone derp. And apparently there's a lot of people out there who are all in on the dogma that investing in index funds, in particular the S&P 500, is the only way to invest. It seemed that the mindset, at least from what I could see, reading and interacting, 2016, 17, 18, even 2019, is that buy the S&P 500, hold for 69 years, and that's how you invest, the end. And don't get me wrong, certainly better than doing nothing. But if you want outsized returns, might be worth looking elsewhere. And we've discovered now, from 2019 till today, Tesla went from not even in the top 20 net inflows to number 1, suggesting that many investors, many retail investors, have come to the realization that, well, I could go for the whole index investing route and do a little bit better than the average person, but it seems like there's some outsized opportunity in Tesla, so fuck that. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's many people who do own Tesla stock who also own S&P 500. I'm certainly not one of them, still all in on Tesla stock, only stock I own, and have never sold a share. But this really represents a tipping point in the investor mentality. This is kind of crazy for there to be a single individual company, any company, that in the span of just a few years has gone from not even top 20 net inflows from retail investors to number 1, now towering over even the S&P 500. If I didn't know any better, I'd think that retail investors have a long-term perspective and see enormous potential in the future for Tesla. Been a year. Tesla's increasing favor among retail investors. Man, this trade is such a dirty word. Dirty word. By the way, Why are they calling them traders if these are net inflows, as in money that went in and didn't come back out, aka wasn't traded, just bought and hold? Tesla's increasing favour among retail investors can be tied to its comeback in 2023. According to a finance professor at the University of California, a professor. After plunging 65% in 2022, the Elon Musk-led stock has more than doubled in 2023, which obviously nobody could have seen coming, especially not people who made videos day after day going, this ain't going to age well, holy shit, what's going on, doesn't make sense, etc. The stock has outperformed the market this year, in tandem with other mega-cap technology stocks dubbed the Magnificent Seven. Many investors looking to play disruptive technology in this elite group have focused on Tesla and chipmaker Nvidia. But after more than tripling this year thanks to an appetite for all things tied to artificial intelligence, Mr. Professor says Nvidia may have been too expensive for many individual investors. The professor researches retail investor behavior and thinks a lot of attention comes from Musk. But hang on, I thought Elon bad. That's weird. The Tesla CEO's contentious purchase of X, formerly known as Twitter, has brought increased media coverage as well as scrutiny of the billionaire business mogul, the professor said. When faced with thousands of stocks to choose from, the professor said individual traders... Why? Stop calling them traders, bro. This whole freaking article is about net inflows. Investors mainly look for names that grab their attention, are familiar, and have saliency to current trends. Given Musk's persona, the growing ubiquity of Teslas on the road, and concerns about climate change, he says Tesla checks many boxes for everyday investors. I would be surprised, at least if the very small sampling of retail investors watching this channel predominantly purchased Tesla stock because of Musk's personality, because of more Teslas being on roads, or being concerned about climate change. Call me crazy, but I think the majority, the vast majority actually, at least watching this channel, probably bought Tesla stock because they saw a lot of opportunity from a business and investment point of view. All the other stuff, not really a determining factor. Quote, that was a bargain. Individual investors told CNBC that Tesla's bumpy ride in recent years hasn't made them doubt the company as much as it's created opportunities to pick up Tesla shares at cheaper prices. Geez, they must have been talking to some people with brains. Amazing. To them, there's little doubt Tesla's share price will continue to surge. One of those is Jeremy Ford, great surname, a construction contractor in Virginia who first bought Tesla shares as the scamdemic took hold in 2020. He became interested when his wife considered and ultimately ended up purchasing a Tesla. Ford has tried to time buying and selling shares of Tesla around Tesla news over the past year. For example, he sold some stock before what turned out to be poor third quarter delivery numbers, only to load back up ahead of the release of new details about Tesla's Cybertruck. The 48-year-old now holds about the same number of Tesla shares as he did when 2023 began, but lowered his cost basis. Obviously an absolute genius. I hope he has a newsletter I can subscribe to. Given an interest in disruptive technology, Ford reallocated some of those profits to new stakes in Palantir and Nvidia. Still, he's all in on Tesla's story, citing the push into robotics and AI chips as cause for long-term optimism. His only serious concern would be if Musk left and the company's performance worsened. Quote, if you can find a company that makes a product that people love and it's different than anything that other people have, then you have that chance to really make a substantial profit. Ford goes on to say that at some point I do believe that I'll look back at the price of the stock now and go, wow, that was a bargain. Guts and heart. Despite Tesla's strong year on Wall Street and Main Street, others see challenges ahead. Craig Irwin said profit margins could come under pressure from additional price cuts amid cooling growth. But that may not dent individual investors' enthusiasm. In fact, Irwin said the stock could be a beneficiary of turbulence in the electric vehicle industry because any uncertainty would lead investors to companies like Tesla that have proven they can design, make, and sell vehicles. Given their affinity for the brand, retail investors may also stick with Tesla longer than institutional investors, Irwin said. That could... it's hard to do this with a straight face. Just thinking of all the things Craig said in the past about Tesla. That could keep Tesla stock levitating above where it would otherwise be priced. Retail tends to trade on guts and heart, Irwin said. And a lot of people love Tesla. Changes in individual investor sentiment are so key to Tesla stock performance that hedge funds take note of these trends when evaluating what to do, the analyst noted earlier this year. Irwin is in the majority on Wall Street in giving Tesla a neutral rating of no more than hold, neither recommending it be bought nor sold. So courageous. Following 2023's rebound, the average analyst surveyed sees the stock falling about 38% over next year. Well, anything could happen. So check this out. Top 5 securities this year. Apparently, top 5 traded securities, but again, these are net inflows, so not sure traded is the right word here. 2023 Tesla towering over everything else. Check it out though. In 2022, just 16.8 billion flowing into Tesla, net inflows, versus this year getting close to 50 billion. In 2021, 20, 19, 18, Tesla nowhere to be seen. Individual investors have often been the butt of the joke, with investing experts, a pejorative term, pointing to their inability to time the market and best allocate their money. It's a good point. Let's troll and make the butt of the joke this retail investor, demonstrating a very clear inability to time the market and best allocate their money. Returns on Tesla stock since initially beginning to buy. What a moron, bro. Tesla stock was down 10.97% in 2016 when they began buying. What an idiot. What a loser. What a dumb fuck. Wait, what? Up 45.7% in 2017. That was lucky. Wasn't it very lucky? 2018, up a mere 7%. Should have just bought the S&P, you moron. What? 2019, up 25.7. Geez, that's a lot. Must be lucky again. 2020, up nearly 750%. Well, that was obviously a fluke. 2021 up another 50%. Geez, good luck. I mean, that was just an accident, right? Who could have seen that coming? It's just Tesla stock's obviously just really overvalued. 2022 down 65%. What a loser! I'd jump off a bridge if I was this dumbass. And 2023, well, slightly outdated now, but up over 100%. Now, if you guys are wondering, won't be a point extra here, just trying to illustrate a point. But if we add each of these annual returns on Tesla stock and then divide them by the number of years, the average annual return here is 111%. More than a doubling on average every year for 8 years in a row, despite there being a loss of nearly 11% in year 1 and over 65% in year 7. Now again, this isn't perfect. We're not factoring in buying and blah, 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 blah. But just to illustrate the point, if there were other retail investors who'd simply been buying Tesla stock whenever they had spare cash and been doing so for an extended period of time and not trying to time the market by realizing their brain's too small to do that, so why even try? I would suggest that they've demonstrated a reasonable ability to allocate their money. And perhaps it is investing experts who perhaps have not shown the best ability to allocate their money. Again, what the fuck was big money doing when Tesla was down near $100 per share 12 months ago? Selling, not buying. Enough said. Yet individual traders, why do they keep saying traders, have gained attention following the rise of short squeeze meme stocks during the scamdemic. Even as that craze fizzled, retail trading remains popular. Everyday investors put more than 4 times the amount of money into their 20 most bought securities in 2023 than they did in all of 2018. Now that, by the way, is a shocking statistic. What the hell were people doing with their cash back in 2018? Serious question, what could possibly account for this? Is it possible, just asking the question, I don't know the answer, but is it possible that the rise of social media platforms and content creators may have indirectly influenced some retail investors to begin buying some stonks? It's like, hey, here's an opportunity that I think I've discovered. You do your own thinking and maybe you'll draw similar conclusions, maybe you won't. Is that playing out hundreds of thousands of times, millions of times? I mean, 4 times increase in the amount of money going into the 20 most bought securities in 2023 versus 2018? That is huge. What could possibly account for that? For the UC professor, the flight to Tesla stock this year is complicated. It's concerning, he said, if individual investors are making bigger bets on single stocks than funds that invest in diversified indexes like the S&P 500 ETF. Let me know in the comments below if you guys and girls are concerned. Still, while investments that spread bets across a pool of stocks is safer, allegedly, trying to pick certain companies is more desirable than not being in the market at all, he said. Quote, traders, again, why traders? Would be much better off if they just bought the index and forgot the password to their brokerage account, he said. But even if Tesla doesn't do as well as the market, sorry, what's this on my screen right now? What was that again? Over 100% per year on average for 8 years in a row. Total fluke, obviously, just got lucky. But even if Tesla doesn't do as well as the market, it's still better than probably just spending it on useless consumption and not participating. Well, at least on that, I completely agree. Once again, I have to underscore how crazy this piece of information is. There's more money from retail investors going into Tesla stock and staying there than any other security, including indexes, which previously, well, you have to buy index funds, bro. That's the way. And these numbers are remarkable. In 2019, net inflows into Tesla stock, $630 million. You know what? I'm going to do some math. I'm going to work out what my percentage of these net inflows into Tesla were in 2019. I'm going to do the same for 2023. All right, are you guys ready? Of retail investor net inflows into Tesla stock in 2019, I personally account for 0.00812%. In 2023, with substantially more cash going into Tesla stock, multiples more, I represented just 0.000687, let's round it up to 69% of net inflows into Tesla stock. Absolutely wild. I'd be rather curious to know, of this $45.41 billion of net inflows into Tesla, I wonder how much is represented by viewers of this YouTube channel. For what it's worth, I have previously polled my Patreon supporters to find out roughly how many shares of Tesla they own. Obviously, the poll is anonymous, but had a bunch of different categories so everyone could vote. It was a pretty high level of definition and resolution to the different options. So I had a pretty good idea. And based on the respondents, I was able to extrapolate from that poll. Tesla ownership just on my Patreon page alone was somewhere, let's just call it between maybe 2 or so billion up to 10 billion. Now, obviously, that wasn't a single year of net inflows, but it's an interesting data point. You'd suspect, on average, people who are super into Tesla and can afford to support on Patreon, probably a little bit more capital, so the results are probably skewed. You want to be able to extrapolate Patreon supporters versus how many people watch the YouTube channel. But I suspect that there's probably at least $1 billion of capital from people watching this YouTube channel have flowed into Tesla stock this year at a minimum. It could be more. Now, here's a fun thought exercise. What happens if Tesla stock increases, let's say 10 times in value over the next who cares how long it takes? Assuming none of these investors sell, the $45.5 billion that flowed into Tesla stock in 2023 alone, if they continue to hodl, after a 10x will be worth $500 billion. A 20x would be worth $1 trillion just for money that flowed in 2023. But remember, investing experts have pointed out historically that retail investors have demonstrated an inability to best allocate their money. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely it's not that AG1 shit, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.